Elon Musk is making a huge move by selling his stock, and what he invests in next will disrupt a giant industry, but it is not likely the industry you are thinking of. In this video, I will connect the dots to what I think Elon is going to invest his money in next and why. Let's get to it. In one of my last videos, I said that I thought that Elon Musk was going to be investing in a Mars colony with the proceeds from his sales. In retrospect, I think that what he is going to invest in will play into what he wants to achieve in going to Mars, but I do not think that he will be directly investing in a Mars colony. But what I think he's going to invest in is going to accelerate his ability to get to a Mars colony faster. And that's what's important to Elon, is being able to achieve his goals faster and more easily. In fact, I think this investment is going to be a big improvement for all of his companies that are in the Austin area. It is often tough to tell what Elon Musk is trying to do. He is a very bright man and he is playing 3D chess. Really smart people are playing 2D chess. Most of us are pretty much playing checkers. So it's a little hard for us to figure out what is going on inside that brain of Elon. But let me tell you, I'm sure he has a plan. Elon is simply playing 20 moves ahead of everyone else, and he is simply moving his pieces in place to get a checkmate on going to Mars. Like a murder mystery, let's connect the dots. Point 1. Elon Musk is selling 10% of his stock. At least that's what he said in the Twitter poll, right? So we'll see what happens. The thing is, though, is that in a lot of the filings that we've seen recently, the filings have shown that Elon has been selling some of his stock options and some of his common stock. And this is confusing to people because with the stock options, the expectation of what he would do is that he would sell some of his stock options in order to pay for the taxes due in order for him to acquire the other stock. So that way he would exercise all the options, sell some of the stock, and that would pay for the taxes for the remaining shares that he would achieve. The problem is that he's not just selling his stock options, he's also selling his common stock. So what this means is that he is actually getting back a whole lot of money. And how much is up in the air. We don't really know how much he's going to end up with in the end. But based on some rough calculations that I've made, if he follows through with what he says in terms of his sales, if he sells 10% of his common stock, as well as exercises all of his stock options, then he could have maybe around $12 billion in cash after everything is said and done. That is a lot of money, and it makes you wonder, what would Elon need $12 billion for? That is a ridiculous amount of money. I think he has a plan for it. Point number 2 in our murder mystery. Elon just bought a ton of land in the Austin area. It's around 620 acres, and he purchased it with a company called Horse Ranch LLC. Now, the thing that is curious is that this land was not purchased by SpaceX or by Tesla. It was purchased by Elon personally through one of his assistants. This is very curious because that means that whatever this land is for, it's likely not going to be associated with Tesla or SpaceX direct. It is going to be something else. Now, we don't really know what this is, but what do you think that Elon could use a whole lot of land for adjacent to the Tesla factory in Austin? Point number 3, Elon hates taxes. And it's not really that he hates taxes, it's just that he hates that the government is not the greatest at allocating those taxes towards his goals that he wants to achieve, and he thinks that they're poor at allocating those taxes to things that really matter. So Elon might be looking for a way that he can leverage allocating some of his money towards things that can help his projects out for the future. So how do you reduce your tax burden while achieving your goals for the future? It's tough. You can donate to things, but what are you going to donate $12 billion to? If you're liking this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Just give it a little click. Point number 4. Tesla, SpaceX, The Boring Company, Neuralink, all of his companies are voracious for high quality talent. They are looking for the best and the brightest minds in the entire world. This is a beast that is really difficult to feed. They are needing engineers in droves. But this has proven challenging at some of their manufacturing sites. For example, the original Gigafactory in Nevada has not been fully completed, and I don't think it is because of lack of funds. I think it is because a lack of skilled labor and engineering talent needed to expand such an operation. But where do you get all these engineers that you need so desperately? Even when Tesla hires engineers, they aren't necessarily the engineers that Elon is looking for. They might not have the right mindset of a Tesla or a SpaceX employee that is needed to really achieve the goals of going to Mars. An engineer that works for Tesla or SpaceX needs to be fast moving and willing to break some rules. So where do you get all that skilled labor and skilled engineering talent? Point 5. Elon Musk really only wants to spend his money on things that support either making this world better or getting us to Mars. And you can see it in every one of his companies that their goal is very straightforward. Improve the rapid adoption of sustainable technologies or improve the access to space. These are the two things that they're trying to achieve. I know that every dollar that he spends is going to have to point directly at those goals. So how do you do that? And point number 6, and this is where I think all of these points are starting to kind of align, and that is that Elon Musk has a bunch of kids. Elon really likes to keep his kids close to him as he has little time to spend with them, and anytime when he is not working, he is spending with his children. In fact, his oldest kids are 17. 17-year-olds. I wonder what they would be doing right about now. Well, at this point, if I were Elon, I would probably be sitting with these kids and saying, hey, where do you want to go to school? Or do you want to go to school? What are your thoughts on where you want to go? And what I think is happening is that Elon is starting to look around and look at the colleges that are around, and he might not be happy with what he's seeing. He has gone through several universities and he has gone to where he is because of that. And I think he sees the benefit in going away and going to a college where you get a really good education. But I'm not sure if he's necessarily finding the college for his kids that he's looking to find. Specifically, I'm pretty sure that Elon is not finding the right university to better mold his kids into true first principles thinkers. So how do all of these points connect to one another? Based on everything that I've looked at and everything I've seen, and understanding that Elon is always trying to push the ball forward, I think Elon is going to start some sort of a university. He's even joked about it online, as you can see in his tweet. I don't really like the name he picked in that tweet. It at least hints at what Elon is looking to do. And this wouldn't be the first time that Elon has joked about something and turned it into a thriving business. I mean, just look at Tesla Kila. Yeah. You can buy that now. And that all started out as a joke, right? I will also point out that Elon Musk has actually started a school before for his kids at his work site where he was working most of his time. And that is the Ad Astra school that is housed at the SpaceX facility. So as you can see, none of this is all that far-fetched for Elon Musk. It's just a much larger scale than what he's already done before. And I think that this is the right time for him to start a university of some sort. My biggest mistake with thinking that Elon Musk would spend his money on a Mars colony is that there is still so far to go before we are even ready to send people to Mars. And Elon recognizes this. It's going to be 10 years at best, right? It's a long path. And in order to get there, he needs to have the best and brightest minds working on this. There's no better way than having the best and brightest minds than having a university where you can educate them almost on site. And having this university will ultimately accelerate all of his projects. The only way that Elon Musk can truly accelerate all of his ambitious projects is to have more of the best and brightest minds in the world there working on it. And I think he wants to make sure that not only does he have the best and brightest minds, but he also wants those minds to have the correct training in order to use their mind power to make the best products. I think that he has seen that while a university is slow to get going and slow to get everything up to speed. I think he recognizes that if he has his own university, he could actually mold how the education is structured. At least in some of the things. I'm sure some of the courses might be way different than other schools. And I think he might be much more interested in having more hands-on experience with companies. And I would not be surprised if this university is really innovative and really disruptive, because it's going to be unlike any other university. And what better way to attract the best and brightest minds to Elon's companies than to have a university that literally pulls them out of the entire world to where he's working at, right? This could be a real big game changer. And not only for Elon Musk's companies, I think that this could disrupt the entire university system. I think that you could easily see Elon's companies, Elon's university, becoming a real magnate of the best and brightest minds. And all of the other universities will race to try and catch up. They will race to try and change how they do things to match up with this new competitor. Because let me tell you, if you're Harvard and if you're MIT and if you are Stanford and you start losing the best and brightest minds, that's your bread and butter, right? And I can guarantee you they will change, they will adapt to have these new mindsets that maybe align better with what the industry wants. A university made by Elon will help make sure the engineers and scientists that come out of it have the right way of thinking. And this way, Elon can even directly have his investments in R&D with universities right on site. You can't get better than that, right? I think that this university idea that I think he will execute, it's huge, it's audacious, but that's just what Elon does. And I think that this will ultimately accelerate all of his projects, make all of his companies stronger. It will change Austin. And I think that Austin is a perfect place to do this, right? This is close to where he plans to have a lot of his SpaceX work. This is close to where his Tesla factory is, where their headquarters is. They're moving some of their Boring Company stuff there. Family is there. He's there. That's the main thing. Elon really likes to center everything around where he is. And I think he recognized that while he was in California, it was great, but the problem was that it's too expensive there. And at least for the time being, Austin is affordable-ish. Right? It's getting more expensive, but it's not California expensive yet. There's also a lot of room for growth. And Elon Musk, with his university, can pull all that talent there and accelerate the growth of the Austin area. I even think that the climate in Austin really favors all of this. It's a warmer climate. It's more agreeable, California-esque, if you will. And I think that people are really drawn to that, especially people from California. If Elon follows through with this, which at this point, I'm fairly certain he will. I am really excited to see how all this turns out. In fact, I'm going to probably be grooming my kids to go to Elon Musk's university, if that's what they're interested in. The idea of Elon being able to have a school that is better set up to educate people in a new next generation method, I think that could really be game changing. And I think that this could be a real evolution for our education system. And I look forward to seeing what happens with it. I can't say it's 100% certain that this is what he's going to do, but I really hope it is what his plan is. We'll see. We'll find out. You can tell me in a few months. Well, no matter what Elon Musk chooses to do with his money, I think we will know shortly what his plan is. Probably before the end of the year. The idea of an Elon Musk-inspired university is really exciting because it could be so drastically different from any other university in the entire world. And just thinking about what the courses would be like, how they would be integrated into his companies, it could be really, really disruptive. And it's fun to kind of think about where all of this could go. So leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about the idea of an Elon Musk university. What do you think it would be like? Thank you for joining me as we have connected the dots to something that could be a big disruption. If you like this video, check out some of my other videos that could be here or here. Have a great day!